So, what do you think about a single work permit that gives you the permission to work in all European countries? Yes, that is what the EU are trying to create, and this is what I'll be talking about in today's video. Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is FaithOjone, and on this channel I talk about ways you can travel abroad and settle abroad. I share resources with you on how you can get started, and I talk about my life experience here in the UK as an immigrant and updates concerning the UK, and I share story time as well. So if these are the kind of content you like to see, then hit the subscribe button down below, turn on your notification bell so you do not miss any of my videos. Without saying so much, let's get started. So, the Council has agreed to amend the European Union laws that addresses legal migration to EU labour market. The updated rules aim to simplify the process for immigration and enhance its efficiency. As a result, the recruitment of skilled workers from around the world is expected to receive a significant boost among the European countries. So, after the pandemic, a lot of countries have opened up their border to skilled migrants. In fact, a lot of countries right now are embracing migration because they see how it's working for Canada and the US. And migration is really needed for most countries to thrive. So this is why countries that have been very strict and they do not even allow migration before are now opening up their border. Countries like New Zealand, the EU, they've even created a single platform where recruiters or job employers can search for talent outside the EU. And on this platform, the jobs there is only for overseas candidates. If you're not in the EU or you're not part of the European Union, you're overseas in a different country, you can access jobs there and apply for them, and you'll be able to move to any of those countries to work. These updated rules seek to grant more rights to workers from non-European countries and ensure their fair treatment comparable to the EU workers, thus reducing instances of labor exploitation. We know that during migration there's usually like exploitation, which is something that the UK is currently experiencing, especially in the care sector, because the government didn't do anything to prevent that. So because you are tied to your employer, some employers sort of take advantage of that and exploit immigrants. But the EU are saying that they're not going to let that happen, so they're going to create laws that will protect you as an immigrant if you decide to move to any of the European countries for work. So when businesses in the EU face a shortage of workers, it can slow down their operations and hinder them from their growth and ability to come up with new ideas or innovation. So for them to overcome this challenge, the EU government wants to make it easier for businesses in the European Union to hire professionals from around the world in different countries that is not part of the EU. So having a predictable and smooth application process is extremely important, and that's exactly what the single permit law that they agreed upon will ensure. All the countries in Europe that are under the European Union are coming together to create a single work permit that will grant foreign workers, skilled workers that are not part of the EU, the permission to work, settle and live in the country permanently if they even wish. So the single work permit directive focuses on allowing people from countries outside the EU to come and live, work in EU. They will also outline steps that EU countries need to follow when issuing this single permit and establish common rights for these workers. So it's going to be like a Schengen visa. With your Schengen visa, you can travel and visit other European countries without you requiring another visa. So this one is like a work Schengen visa. That's what I'm calling it in my head anyway. That's not what it is. It's called the single work permit. But I think they are trying to achieve the same thing here. So it is important to know that each member state still has the authority to decide which and how many workers from other countries that they want to allow into their labor market. So just because they are creating a single work permit does not mean that other countries do not have their process or preference. So they will agree on creating a single work permit, but each of the European countries can also decide how many international workers they want to let into their country, or if they want to put like a cap on how many international workers from other countries they allow in. So now, application process. As per the council agreement, for foreign workers, they have the option to apply for a single work permit from their home country or within the EU if they are living in one. They are making it so easy. You don't need to be in any of the European countries for you to apply for this single work permit. You can apply for this permit from your home country. So let's say you're in Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, and you want to work in Europe. You can stay in your country and apply for the single work permit. And also, if you are a national of a different country but you're currently living in Europe, you can also still apply for it within the EU. So if a member state approves the single permit, it will serve as both as a resident permit and a work permit. So I mean, this single work permit is not just for work. I mean, the permit that they're going to issue you will serve both as resident and work permits, which gives you the flexibility. You know, they made a decision that to grant a single work permit, they should be made within 4 months after receiving the complete application. So because it's a lot of countries coming together to decide on issuing work permits to nationals of other countries, so it's going to take 4 months for them to process it. Okay, and this time frame, as stated by the council, also includes the duration required to assess the labor market situation before making a decision on the single work permit. Also, the EU still have their law on before issuing a job to candidates that are not within the EU. They need to do like a labor market test to find out that there is no one in that country or in the whole of European Union. I mean, not all European countries are part of the European Union. Okay, so the European Union have a law to protect their people, citizens, for getting jobs, so that their jobs will not be given to an overseas candidate. So if a business wants to recruit someone from outside the EU, they have to do like a labor market test within that country. Let's say it's a business in Netherlands want to recruit someone from overseas, maybe from Africa or Asia. They have to advertise the job in Netherlands, make sure that there was no one qualified for the job. Then they have to check the whole of EU countries under the European Union, find out that no one qualifies before they can give that job to foreign national. So they still have this law in place to protect their job for their citizens. Okay, but for them to be creating a single work permit, that's to say that they're struggling with talented individuals. The good thing about this single work permit is that it enhances the safeguarding of workers, okay, from non-EU countries. So the council proposed a provision that allows holder of a single work permit to switch employers. I mean, it's not like the UK where if you come on a skilled worker visa, you're tied to your employer for 5 freaking years before you can even think of switching job. Even if your job is not something you like or your employer is not treating you right, you're stuck. If you get the single work permit, you are not tied to your employer. You have the right to switch employer whenever you like. But I mean, there is a but. Okay, the change would require notifying or applying for the appropriate authorities. If a non-EU worker loses their job, they can still stay in the member state's territory as long as their total period of unemployment does not exceed 2 months while the single work permit is valid. Well, if you lose your job, you have 2 months to get another job, which makes sense because the reason you're getting the single work permit is for you to be able to come to their country to work. Let me give you a little background of the single work permit. I mean, this was existing before. The single work permit was established in 2011. But on April 27, 2002, the Commission proceeded an update. I mean, they changed an update. So the proposal is part of the Skills and Talents package, which aims to, address the EU labor shortage in terms of legal migration and intends to attract skilled and talents that are not EU, that are not like part of the European Union, or they are not citizen of EU. I love this. Honestly, a single work permit to work in a lot of countries under the European Union. I made a video where I talked about the EURES portal. If you've not heard of the EURES portal before, I will link the video in my description box below, so you can go watch it. This is not the first thing that the EU are trying to do. They also created EURES portal for businesses who want to recruit overseas candidates, so they can publish their job adverts there. And if you are an overseas talent who would want to work in EU, you can sign up on that portal and start applying for jobs that you qualify for there. If you are able to land a job, then you just apply for your visa and you're going. There's nothing like, you know, sponsorship. All you need is a job offer. So if you don't know anything about the EURES portal, I'm going to link the video where I shared the detailed process at which you can sign up and start applying for jobs. They have over 4 million jobs over there in different countries: Netherlands, Republic of Ireland, Germany, Italy, France, name all the countries under the EU that you can think of. They have job vacancies there, different sectors, different occupations. So I'll leave the link to the EURES portal in the description box below, and I'll leave the link to this information in the description box below so you can go read it yourself. This was recently published. It was published on the 7th of June 2023, so this is a new change, and I'm sharing with you so you can hop on the opportunity before it's too late. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I have come to the end of this video. If this video was helpful, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, like, share, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your loved ones. And guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye.